Next up, we're going to hear about unlocking success and yeah, harnessing real-time data and analytics in blockchain projects. Please welcome Didier.
Hi, everyone. My name is Didier. I'm the co-founder of Pikespeak, which is a data and analytics solution built on NEAR. We've been live for more than a year now, and we have had over 1,000 signups on the platform. And yeah, we are working with many projects and within the NEAR ecosystem, and I'm here to talk about data and analytics. The first thing I wanted to tell you about is how I picture or imagine blockchains. And I really see blockchains as public libraries with open doors, right? Information is here, ready to be collected. Whether this information is, raw, directly extracted from the blockchain, or turned into a more human-readable content. And that could be a widget, like you see here, or that could be, charts, or even text-based information. So this is an example of a DAO proposal that has been approved. And as a builder, sometimes you may want to have raw information because you can extract everything from it. But sometimes you want to have something simple that allows your users to just grasp the information at once. For builders, there is one thing I believe which is very important, is that the more information you accumulate, the more opportunities you create. And this is not coming from me. I stole that from Billy Walters, who is allegedly one of the most successful gamblers in the history of sport betting. And he started his career in the 70s as, well, the best used car salesman in Kentucky. And he told us that basically he was collecting every single information about his competitors. Looking at a specific neighborhood, he knew that those people were willing to sell their cars in the next 3 months. And obviously, he became the most successful gamblers because he was collecting 50+ data points on every single match, right? From pitch condition to weather to, if the team, how far the team traveled before to get to this place, etc. But he was evolving in a traditional market where information is broken into pieces, not easily accessible, and painful to reconcile. Another example to illustrate that is obviously accounting frameworks. In Europe, we have IFRS rules. In the US, we have US GAAP. And it's often painful to reconcile that. Obviously, on a blockchain-based market, information is easily accessible, more standardized. You have a transfer. Well, what are those attributes? They are all the same: a sender, a receiver, amount, and type of token, right? But it's not fully standardized. You might have different approaches to solve the same problem. Look at a swap, for example. So that's the reason why I didn't write fully standardized. And obviously, information is immutable. You can't cheat. You can't trick the data. But if there's one thing you must take out of this presentation, is that there's zero excuse to not accumulate information in this market. And the common thing with Billy Walters is that you need to be a hustler. You need to want this information. It's not coming to you, right? So, but back to his time, that was like fucking painful. But in a blockchain-based market, it's easier. Now, for builders, you often go through 3 main phases, right? Ideation. Is the problem I'm solving painful enough that people will care about? Is the problem growing? And then you build, and then obviously you unveil. You go to market, and potentially you adapt, right? depending on the market's reaction. I don't like the term scale because sometimes you want to solve a problem for a very tiny community. You don't necessarily need to scale. But in every single journey, you might have challenges, surprises, and you might encounter serendipity, right? Which is a fantastic thing. One of the best examples is Christopher Columbus, who set sail to discover Asian lands, but ended up discovering America. Another example is Post-it notes. The founder wanted to create super strong adhesive, but ended up creating a weak one. And a colleague, raised his hand and saw a potential for a bookmark, and that would be, that would stick to a page, but could be removed easily. And if you want to foster serendipity, again, you want to have a lot of variables in what you are doing. And again, the more you accumulate information, the more opportunities you create. But the key question here is, what's your market? Who are your competitors on the blockchain? How many users do they have? What's their spending behaviors, right? Do they use ABC before using your product, for example? Or, how much they spend on your competitor's product. You want to know about that. And obviously, once you are live, you want to let the world know how well or not you are performing, right? You want to know how many users are using your products, if they come back, obviously. And then you want to monitor everything, right? Oh, there's a wave of 100 transactions. They are failed transactions with very weird parameters. Maybe you want to look at that. Or there's a transfer of 10 million out of your contract, if there's 10 million initially, but you might want to look at that. So you need to, you need to have the whole things to look at in your project. Speaking of NEAR, what does that mean, right? Well, how big is the knowledge base? How big is, how much can you leverage information? Well, you have 30 million plus accounts that have already executed 500 million transactions. And if you want to deploy a Web 2.5 company, then you have basically the best examples right now with Sweat Economy and K-Chain, right? But the great thing is, only looking at the blockchain again, you can understand their operating models, right? This wallet is managing this kind of thing. Another wallet is doing this. And then all of a sudden, you've mapped out the entire operational stack of the largest Web 2.5 project within the entire ecosystem. Also, the knowledge stack is getting more substance, right? This is only on NEAR. You have many verticals, and we've tagged over 2,000 addresses. And you're doing an NFT project, you should pay attention to those projects and to those contracts. What's their approach to solve the same problem you have, right? Maybe there is something you can take out of that. Maybe there is something you can copy, right? You look at socials, well, you have NEAR Social, obviously. But Popular, which has been launched recently, has a completely different approach to solve also how community grows, right? So you might want to look at that. And obviously, over 100 DeFi contracts. So again, you have zero excuse to not accumulate information if you are building on a blockchain-based market. Finally, context matters. Because let's say you look at you have a project, you look at this user who has been interacting like every day. Well, okay, this is cool information, but what else? Well, actually, this user is the largest user in terms of spending in your ecosystem. So you want to understand and you want to give substance to context around your transactions, because that really matters. You don't want to end up like this dog chasing its own tail. You don't want to end up in circles. It's amusing, but it's unproductive, right? So context is really important. Oh, yeah. thank you. So if you have any questions, I would be very happy to take those questions. I will head to the community HQ afterwards. I have a booth, so if you are building on here and if you want to know everything about data and analytics, or how can you leverage our tech stack, then please feel free to get in touch with me.